What's up, guys? It's Zachy J. And today, on this rainy day, it's a little bit rainy. We can't go too deep into the woods. There might be some little bit of traffic ambient sounds in the background, but it's okay. Because today we're going to be talking about that creator kill switch that's in your brain. That's in your brain right now that you need to figure out how to turn on. So, what is this thing? What is this switch all about? Well, a lot of creators out there need things to be perfect, right? This level of perfection, manicured, pedicured, perfectly preserved. If it has to be manicured, pedicured, and perfectly preserved, then you might just be shooting yourself in your own foot. You might be limiting yourself to what you can create because you can only share what's in your mind deemed worthy. But the thing is, you can't control how other people see things. And it might just be that the way they see things is they needed to hear what you had to say. They needed to hear that thing. There was a secondhand thought in your mind. It wasn't too deep, but it was just a thing. There was a passing thought, and they might have needed to hear that passing thought because for you it might have been second nature, but for them that might have been instrumental for their growth. So you have to stand up into this place where you encounter this switch. And what is this switch? When you flick it, it's the fuck it switch. Okay? You have to be able to say, fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that thing that I know I can do. I'm going to do it regardless if I've ever done it before. I'm going to show up and do it every day until it happens. You have to have this, but you need to be able to turn that on with two specific tools that are in your toolbox right now. And these two tools are one, yes, the ego. You have to have that ego, that je ne sais quoi, that it factor, that gravitas. You have to have that thing that says, even though this might be the first time I'm doing this thing, I'm stepping out onto the ledge, I can continue. I can consistently show up in this capacity and show off in this capacity. You have to be able to do that. You have to have that, whatever that thing is. People might say it's like fake it till you make it, or this a level of delusion. It doesn't matter. You have to have that thing because you have to cross the difference threshold that allows you to take action. And that has to be a level of belief that you have in yourself that is so strong and foundational that it allows you to truly tackle the unknown, to grapple with the chaos of the unconscious. And out of that grappling and wrestling match with yourself, you pull up from the depths aspects of yourself that are gold, aspects of yourself that are art, aspects of yourself that are wisdom. You have to have that thing so you can go do that. But that's not enough. You can't just stop there. Because if you stop there, what happens is you might get in your own way because you think you already did it and know it all. Nothing worse. Nothing worse than a dog that can't learn new tricks, right? There's nothing worse than a person that thinks they already figured it all out. Turns out, though, that they have plenty of plot holes in their game. So how do you make sure you don't have that? You can make sure that you're not one of those types of persons by backing up yourself with humility. And those are the two tools that you need to flick this switch. You need both of them. It's a two-handed switch. Flicking it with both humility and that ego je ne sais quoi, it factor. You need to have both of those things because humility is the thing that's going to allow you to really revolutionize yourself and start to grow and be able to have tremendous growth if you can truly look at yourself and audit yourself, because that's what's needed, right? It's not enough just to stand in the arena, okay? That's the start. If you're gonna stand in the arena countless time in and time out, and you're gonna face yourself and face everything else that's out there to be faced and conquer it, you're gonna have to grow, you're gonna have to learn, you're gonna have to pick up a skill or two, you're gonna have to pick up a trick or two along the way too. So humility will do that for you because you'll have the ability to look at yourself. You'll have that ability to be introspective, to notice things that most people that think they already have it all will find impossible to notice. And so what that really means is, even if you start very, very low and humbly, you know, even if you're totally unskilled in your approach, by the end of it, by after many iterations and repetitions, you will find repetitions that you will find out that your growth is compounding, that your ability to present your own ideas, your own mind to the world, that's compounding, and your ability to create unbridled work that doesn't need the validation because it's already been validated from within. You have given the stamp of approval, and guess what? That was always enough. That was always enough. You were always enough for your art, for your work, for what you were putting on your performance, your display. You were always enough, especially if you have these two tools in your tool bag and you are actively using them. Do not leave without those two tools being used, but you have to flick that switch, because it's not enough that you create a little bit. It's not enough. You used to be able to get away with that kind of stuff, like put one thing out there every now and then, but we are in an era. We're in an era where we need all of it. Everyone wants all of it all the time. So you have to be given it. Don't be stingy with your gift. Too many people out here are just being stingy with their gift. They're just giving such a little bit for what? Why? Why are you being stingy? Why are you holding back? Don't be holding back. There's no reason to hold back. Seriously. If there's a reason to hold back, if you're holding back, you're actually holding back on yourself, because you deep down, you're afraid that if you keep revealing things, you yourself might have to be uncovered and unmasked. And wouldn't that be frightening if you accidentally got unmasked in front of everyone? What would they think if they saw the real you, right? They saw the you that, oh, I've tried to put on this perfect pretense, but now I came off as imperfect. Now how will they treat me? Will they discard me and throw me away like yesterday's news? Well, you have to face that thing down. You have to face that down. And you have to face it with the dignity that you deserve. The dignity of showing up, especially with those two tools. And then you will know that it only gets better, that you only get better, that the virtue of you continually creating just ends up making better and better and better. And that there's nothing that can really stop it. Like, we live in an age where now if you want to create, nothing's really going to stop you. Before, at least, maybe like only your local community could find out what you were doing and what you were up to. But now you have access to the internet. You chose to be born in this era. You chose to come down here, and you have all these tools at your disposal. If there's a winning time, now is it. If you were any bit creative, now is the time. This is truly the time to be alive, because you can create anything and you can show it to everyone. And before, you could create anything, but you might not be able to show it to everyone. And if you did, you'd have to really go out there, really put some miles on your shoes. But you can do it right now from the comfort of your own home. So if that is the case, what are you going to do with it, right? Are you going to flick that switch? You're going to flick that switch and you're going to finally say, fuck it? Or you're going to hold on to it and make yourself so precious and make your art so precious that all the messages that the world needed to hear from you become stifled and all muffled up, I don't think that's the move, but you have to make that choice for yourself. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. It was a pleasure to have you. If you could do me a favor, give a like, subscribe, or share with a friend that needs to hear a little bit about that switch and how they can flick it on for themselves. That would be greatly appreciated, because we're all sharing this consciousness together. So it behooves us to make it better for ourselves, because if we do that, it'll make it better for everyone else. Have a great rest of the day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.